What's going on, family friends? Vince Jr. here. As you can see, we have these amazing brand new island journals. We got Jaden over here.
Oh, yeah.
And we got Pudre, my dad, joining the show tonight with us. And what we want to do kind of is go over these island journals, and we want to play this game that, as you can see, we got Mark Overson pulled up over here on the screen. Actually, Fraser, can you maybe, here, I'll turn it around really quick for you. But we got Fraser in the house. All right. What do you got? You got your journal? Let me see. You got your journal?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. You got your journal?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Pudre? That's what I'm talking about. All right, Dad, actually, you saw these journals and you were like, hey, give me one of those.
Give me one of those.
All right, so hold on. Let me go back to here real quick. All right, fam. Basically, what we're doing tonight is we're going to be doing a exercise kind of that Mark Overson has taught, and it's called I Know I'm Successful When. All right, and what you do is you guys are going to be getting these journals whether or not you're a TLA or a regular apprentice or professional. If you want a silver journal, you got to be a TLA member, but if you want a black one, we actually have black journals. You can get those no matter what level you're at. But the best thing you can do when you first get these is play this I Know I'm Successful When game, because when you do that game, what it does is it opens up your reality to actually capturing the vision that you have in your heart. Alright, and so what we're doing, the first thing we're going to do, which is the cool part, and I want to show you guys a little bit about these journals just kind of before we go into it. As you can see, they're really classy and really nice. They got this nice silver lining on them. Super amazing. And, you know, if you went to go to like Target or something like that and you bought like a $30 to $50 journal, it wouldn't even come close to this. These are like super high quality. But if I open this up, it's got that cool like archive paper where, as you can see, it's got like little filaments inside of there, which is really neat looking. And then right here on the inside, because a lot of people I know wanted to see the ruling. I don't know if it's college ruled or whatever, but it's that standard ruling that most people like. And, you know, what I want to show you, and what's the cool part, I think what we're going to first do is we're going to personalize these bad boys. And as you can see on the back, right there it says personal data. So we're going to make sure that we put all of our information here, because here's the difference between these journals. You're going to find out what Mark talks about. These journals aren't just journals that you write notes down and, you know, maybe come back to them kind of thing. This is like a legacy journal that you're going to create for your children and your children's children. So the ideas that you place in here, what we're going to consider them is your $1 million ideas, or whatever your vision is. Maybe you just want to make six figures. Maybe you even want to make, you know, $60,000, $70,000 a year as an entrepreneur. That's fine. But this journal is going to be one of those things where you can literally pass down from generations to your family, where they can see your wisdom. You know, I was talking to my dad the other day, and I was like, Dad, you can put things in there where, you know, you can pass down to my daughter, which would be cool, to, you know, some of the wisdom and things that he's provided me as well. So it's exciting stuff right here. This is not just your journal. We're not, you know, we talk about it all the time. This is not just a pen, right? So we have pens. This is the things you're going to sign your contracts with, you know, $1 million deals with. Well, this isn't just a journal. This isn't just a journal you're going to get from ILN where you just put down things where they kind of go to the wayside or you throw it away later. This is a legacy journal that you're going to be getting. As you can see, that's why we did these fine quality journals. And the embossing right here, Fraser, you know you love this.
Yeah,
you're talking about how like literally you can feel like the embossing of it, which is really, really cool. So what we're going to do before we get into this, since this I Know I'm Successful When deal is from Mark Overson, he actually got it passed down from Joe Polish. I don't know if he's going to talk about it in this video. But we'll go into this video. We're going to watch this together, and then we're going to come back and we're going to play this game. And then before we come back, all of us are going to fill out our personal data as well, because remember, these are going to get passed down. So it could be 2 or 3 generations, and then people could see, you know, where the address was and kind of stuff like that. So it'll be really fun. So we're going to watch this video, and then we'll come on right back.
So I am super pumped to share a little deeper on the I Know I'm Successful When concept. And Vince asked me to make like a 1 to 2 minute video to give you a little background. So number one, I completely ripped off the concept from Dean Jackson and Joe Polish in I Love Marketing. So it's my favorite podcast on the podcast scene. I Love Marketing, and they talk about a bunch of stuff. But Dean has a concept where he says, I know I'm successful when, and then you fill in the blank. So I heard it, and I went wild with the concept. So I was like, I know I'm successful when I'm eating outside. I'm eating al fresco. Because I grew up in North Dakota, a lot of mosquitoes, and it's lots of cold. And so just the fact that I know I'm successful when I'm eating outside, that's a marker when I know I'm successful. I know I'm successful when people buy my stuff and see me at live events and give me a hug. Because for me, that's an indicator that people aren't having buyer's remorse, they're having buyer's buzz. And I know I'm successful when I am not working for somebody. So I'm feeling successful all the time. I know I'm successful when I can go on and on and on and on. But what you don't want to do in life is say, I know I'm successful when I have that brand new house in Beverly Hills. Because when there's that much delay out there, it's almost like you don't ever know when you're successful. So we're going to talk about this concept of I know I'm successful when. We have people go on walks. I do a big big code in the Solomon 10 million plus on I Know I'm Successful Win. I can tell you, I know I'm successful when my kids want to introduce their friends to me. So Isaac's 11, and he just can't wait to introduce his little buddies to his dad. I know I'm successful when that happens. I know I'm successful when I've done this. And so what we're going to do on this training is we're going to parse out some stuff for business, for health. Like, I know I'm successful when I sweat. When I'm sweating, I know I'm successful. Because I went for years, believe it or not, like years, and I barely ever sweat. And there's a lot of toxin gets built up, a lot of anxiety, a lot of pent up stuff. I had a lot of tension in my face, in my back, in my body, in my feet. And just sweating. I know I'm successful when I'm sweating. So we're going to go through food. We're going to go through health. We're going to go through family. We're going to go through business. I know I'm successful when people are being introduced to me and by referral. So not just that I'm paying to have people like discover me, but people are referring people to me for business. I know I'm successful when people I do business with want to do more business with me. I'm going to go into this concept. It's deep. It's changed our lives so profoundly. I'm thrilled. See you there.
All right, fam. So as you can see, this I Know I'm Successful Win doesn't necessarily talk about material things. Okay. Now, of course, there will be material things in your Know I'm Successful Win as well, because you know, at the end of the day, a lot of us want different cars, different homes, different houses, and stuff like that. But this really goes a little bit deeper. It goes into your vision, your impact, and as an entrepreneur, for me, there's different. You're going to find out some of the stuff that I'm going to say. Really comes down to the people that are around me, what I want to happen with them as well, okay? And it could go into your family, like what Mark was saying, all kinds of stuff. So it really comes down to your heart and your vision. So what we're going to do here, which will be fun, and you guys can kind of share in this experience, is we're going to probably do 5 to 10 of these I Know I'm Successful wins, and then we're going to share it with each other. And every time we do one, we'll share, and we'll bring the camera around, we'll kind of shoot it. And what I want you guys to do is we'll probably place this video somewhere where you can shoot a comment below. Shoot yours, I know I'm successful wins as well in the comments below, and we can all share in this kind of fun little journey together as well. And if you don't have these journals, you'll also find a link where you can buy these journals. And what I recommend you do is you go ahead and put what your I Know I'm Successful wins on a notepad or something like that, and then you can transfer it when you get these journals. So you can transfer it over to whatever journal you end up purchasing. So rock and roll, we'll be right back. All right, so we just did our first I Know I'm Successful win. So this is what I put. Basically, I just put like the title up above. You can see I got chicken scratch for days. But I said, I know I'm successful when I get 100 people to 6 figures in 2014. And then I put it in the quotations, this is where I believe true lifestyle begins, and then I put freedom. So that's, for me, when I started hitting 6 figures, that's when I could actually buy the things I wanted, get the things I wanted. And then, not even that, it kind of came down to the reality of, like, things, for example, like going and spending some time with your family, like maybe going to the movies, going to play games, things like that. As soon as I started making about $8,000, it's a little over $8,000 a month, that's when things just, I was like, you want to go to Dave & Buster's, which is like a fun place for games, we went. You want to go to the movies, we went. It's things like that. So that's what my goal was this year for 2014, was to get to 100 people to 6 figures. So we actually got one right here with me right now.
What up, fam?
Already, so it's good. All right, so why don't you go ahead and share yours?
Okay, so my first one, this is my main one. I do watch out for my crazy, terrible typewriter kind of writing right here. So I know I'm successful when I can wake up and decide I can go anywhere in the world in my private jet. Because ever since I was little, one thing I've always wanted to do is travel. Right, and now thanks to being part of ILN, I've been able to travel, circumnavigate the planet, only 23-year-old, and I know, things are just going to keep getting better, and I'll be able to go anywhere when I wake up in the morning. It's like, I want to go to Japan or Greece or Spain in my private jet. Because thanks to Vincent and with ILN, this is possible.
So, money. All right, Poudre.
Okay, mine is I know I'm successful when people seek my advice, whether it's business or personal life issues.
Totally, that's a great one.
Yeah, I've learned more by watching people what they do instead of what they said, because I've seen that there's a lot of people that's out there talking, but they don't walk the walk or talk the talk, and you've probably heard that. Mm-hmm. But the people who have made it, strived, been successful, both in their personal life and business life, which is a combination hard to do both, that's the ones I follow. And that's how I try to lead.
That's awesome. I love that. If you pan that camera over to me real quick. The cool thing, I was going to say, the cool thing about what I've seen with Dad is, like, there's so many people that would ask him for advice as I was, watching as I was growing older. And I realized, that's kind of the person that I wanted to be as well. So that's kind of cool how that passed down, from you, Pudre, to wanting to be the person that people seek. And so I've seen, I can't even count how many people would go to you and, like, for advice and things like that. So it's cool. Speaking of myself, too. So, all right, Jaden, let's see what yours is.
Cool. So I wrote down that I know I'm successful when my clothes empower me. So a lot of people have clothes or possessions in general that just give a negative vibe and give them negative energy. So when I have clothes and I have these possessions that just inspire me and bring about positivity, that's a sign for me that I know when I'm successful.
That's awesome. Perfect. I love it. All right, so we're going to do number 2. Ready to rock and roll?
Ready?
Good. All right, let's rock it.
You have it. You can pay for it, and it's not a stress when going or coming back when the bills hit you.
Yeah, totally. I just asked, for those of you guys who are just watching, I just asked my dad about the 6 figures since I just got off that subject. Something that came up with me, Dad, when you were saying that when 6 figures is freedom, you just said before the camera came on that you don't have to worry about if something comes up because you have that money. You guys just went to visit Granny on the whim, which she was in the hospital sick, and you couldn't have done that if you guys didn't have money to do that. And so that was a cool thing. So I love that. All right, so what's yours, Dad? You start. What's your number 2? I know I'm successful when.
I know I'm successful when I have a plan or a vision and in mind, and it comes into reality. I've been fortunate enough to have a number of ideas. One thing's explaining it to people, but actually putting the plan together and seeing it come to reality is just so gratifying. It not only substantiate what you had visioned, but you get other people on board, and they see the bigger vision, and actually they become part of your vision because their ideas always help you build it bigger than what you intended to be.
Yeah, that's totally true. That's crazy because once you got into the work you're doing now and you started building a vision, it's wild that I got a lot of entrepreneur vision from Mom, but you have future vision as well because of your the way that you're kind of working out these new programs and stuff. It's cool.
Right.
So, man, I'm just blessed. All right, Fraser, what's yours?
All right, Pete. So, number 2 on my list is when I know I'm successful when I get messages from people daily saying, thanks to you, Fraser, I've been able to achieve my dream lifestyle. I see so many people these days that are really striving, so they can live their dreams, and they're just, falling down the wrong path. So I'm wanting to increase my wisdom, thanks to Vincent, thanks to Mark, and just put myself out there, give people the correct training, so if they implement that on a daily basis, eventually their dream life is going to come. That's really what I want to put out there.
Nice. Love it. All right, Jane.
Awesome. Mine was I know I'm successful when I can wake up without an alarm clock, and I'm just really motivated, passionate, and excited to take on the day. And because I know a lot of people personally who just absolutely dread the mornings because they're in the 9 to 5 grind or whatever they're in. And for me, when I'm successful, I'm just gonna be super motivated, super stoked to take on the day, and to me that means I'm successful.
That's powerful. Yeah, that's a one that entrepreneurs, everybody, a lot of people are in that position. I always talk about a lot of people are in the position where they need somebody to push them. And I think what happens in that position is that they don't have a bigger vision for their own life. And so that's powerful as an entrepreneur. You're saying that. I know Fraser and all of our top affiliates for sure have their own vision in their life that they don't need people to wake them up, and that's why, you guys stayed up for a day and a half in a row, 30 hours or whatever. And that's why I stay up for 2 days straight, 3 days. So it's just like, if you have a bigger vision than yourself and you don't need people to push you, that's when you can move into that next level. Mine is, I know I'm successful when I don't have to be present 24/7 in my company and people's lives are still changing. And then I put building a legacy and an infrastructure that lasts for hundreds of years to come. And so my business has always been relied on me being around. And unfortunately, that really comes down to the fact of me not building a infrastructure behind the scenes that would, last the stand the last time or whatever I'm trying to think of. But at the end of the day, that I think, now that I'm getting in this position where we have now multiple thousands of people in ILN, that's the hardest thing that I'm going through right now, is being able to build an infrastructure behind the scenes where I don't have to be here in front of the camera constantly 24/7 to grow this company. And that's one of the fun things that, Fraser's been getting to see and you've been getting to see, Jane, is that there's a lot more to this game than just making a sales video or something like that. I mean, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
building
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like building a team behind the scenes and everything. And you know, these guys will get into that same situation eventually, where when you have a team that's big enough where you really can't be present for everybody's lives that are there, you have to start really building that infrastructure behind the scenes. And so what's cool is I'm going through a process now when people get 20, 30, 40, 50,000, 100,000 people on their team, they're going to have to set up kind of the same infrastructure. You're not going to have to get merchant accounts and all this legal stuff like we're having to do, but you'll still have to build some kind of infrastructure behind the scenes to grow that team even bigger than what it is. Because if you're trying to do everything yourself, you're screwed. Trust me, and I'm there right now. Like I've always been having my hands in everything, and giving that up is actually kind of tough. And my vision for this company is to go to that $1 billion level. And once you hit that level, you have to have an infrastructure behind the scenes to last longer. Okay? And so I want to be dead for thousands of years to come and still have something I've created that's still changing people's lives. You know what I'm saying? So that's my huge I know I'm successful win. When I can leave this company and I can go on to the next life or go to heaven, whatever you guys believe in that's watching this, that it will still sustain. And I know that's one of the toughest things that I'm learning right now, and it's fun. It's actually fun learning that. So let's rock and roll. All right, so we're going to go on to number 3.
All right, so my third I know a successful win is that when I have people talking positively behind my back without me even knowing about it, due to the value that I put out and my leadership. So I know Mark Hoverson talked about, like, a lot of people think they need to talk themselves up, and they get stuck in that kind of situation where I want to have people just kind of talking positively about me behind my back just due to the value I put out and due to my character. So for me, that's my third I know I'm successful win.
That's mine. I love it. All right, let's move on to Fraser.
Alright fam, so the third one for me, this is actually one of the big ones, is I know I'm successful when I can look after my family and they not experience any financial issues. Ever since I was little, my mum and dad have really worked like their backside off. I mean, working crazy hours and not getting paid near enough what they're worth. So I want to get to the point where, you know, I make enough money so I can look after them, so they're not having to experience any, you know, financial issues and things like that, so they can just enjoy their life. Because I mean, right now, you know, it's not good for them. So I'm really that's what's really motivating me to work my backside off, so I can give them that amazing lifestyle that I know they deserve.
That's awesome. I love it too because you've already started that journey with bringing your dad to Thailand and giving him basically like 2 weeks of just like a dream.
2 weeks of like just the laptop lifestyle.
Just living it, just living the dream, man. It's just super powerful.
It was awesome.
I love that. All right, my third one is I know I'm successful when I have a vision to add something powerful to my legacy or company, and I don't have to think about the price. For example, like new systems, infrastructure, and products. Because right now, my vision is so big that if I had literally billions of dollars, it could be so much better right now. And I don't have that money to, you know, literally get my vision done within the next, you know, year. For example, like I have a 5 to 10 year vision, and the only reason that it couldn't happen in the next 3 to 5 months is because I don't have $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? And so some money really collapses time, which therefore collapses the amount of like impact that you can create. And that's why I love like Shark Tank, for example. These people who are, you know, creating products and things like that, they're collapsing time by getting money and investments in their company so they grow faster. Now, you know, in my company, which it's I feel, you know, with a direct sales business or a network marketing business, it's more satisfying because you are literally changing lives versus just selling a product, which is cool. And so what my vision there is just like if I have a vision to create a new system or a new product or a new, for example, like right now we're, you know, looking at new systems and new comp plans and things like that. You know, if I don't have to think about that and just really focus on the actual vision, I know that's when I'm successful because I have enough money and enough infrastructure to just create it immediately. And so that's my third one that I'm hoping to get, you know, within the next 3 to 5 years, where literally when I think of something, it gets done in about a month because there's so much money, there's so much resources, and we can pay so many people to just knock it out.
Okay, my number 3.
Oh, yeah,
my number 3 is I know I'm successful when my children and grandchildren are successful. And this is one of a parent's greatest dreams, is I know my grandmother came over here from Mexico and she only had a 3rd grade education. My parents, so education was huge to them. So they went to high school, the first in their family, and got, and my mother wound up getting her nursing degree. My father got a 2-year degree. I know that was important to them, so I went and got my master's degree. So just seeing my son Vince and his daughter, for him to be successful is just just a joy beyond a parent's dream. And the way he's leading his life, a Christian life, who couldn't ask for anything more.
Amen. Amen. All right. So let's move on to number 4.
Rock and roll.
I know I'm successful when, and I hope this one happens within like 1 to 2 years, because this is going to be freaking awesome. But I know I'm successful when I can fly my personal jet to all of our top affiliates and distributors' houses and cities on a whim to give them a hug and celebrate them and their team. I think that is gonna be badass.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, that would be so crazy. And I just can imagine, like, I visualize it so strong, too. Like, literally, somebody hits, like, 10K that month or whatever, and I just literally fly out to them. We shoot a video together. We celebrate it. We have a team. Oh, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I love it. All right, so that's my number 4. And Jaden, you might have your number 5.
All right, number 4. So I know I'm successful when I see people with these limiting factors, limiting beliefs, like say on my team or just people I've known in the past, really just start to overcome them and put themselves on the journey to kind of bringing forth their dreams into reality due to either some of my value that I put forth, some of my wisdom, or some of the things I connect people to. Just seeing the positive changes in their lives and what they go on to do is just really gratifying for me. So that's my number 4 for when I know I'm successful.
I love it.
Okay, I know I'm successful when, even though I'm retired, have a pension coming in, a successful wife, and don't have to work anymore, I still have the passion to serve others. I tried retirement for a year, drove myself crazy because I when people retire, they think, it's the people they're going to miss, it's maybe the job. But what I found is it was serving people, was being in the community, working with people, and so I'm just fortunate enough I still have that passion that keeps me alive.
I love that. All right. I think I told you guys, man, I'm telling you, this is where I get my serving from my parents. It's crazy.
Alright guys, this is certainly more lifestyle based, this one. So, I know.
Hey, and it's good to have, before you say this, it's good to have the more selfish ones like this as well. You can have these.
This motivates me to a whole new level. So, I know I'm successful when I can go to Rodeo Drive. If you don't know where that is, it's like where everything's just like ridiculously expensive, and easily spend $1 million on clothes, jewelry, and all them other crazy things, right? Ever since I was little, I've always wanted the finer things in life, but I was going to the shops, I was always worrying about the price tags and all those things, and I was looking at these things, it's like, I can't buy these. Just thanks to, Island and all other things, making the decision to change my life. This is possible. I know in a few years I'm going to go to Rodeo Drive and easily spend $1 million, or maybe $2 million or $3 million, whatever. So yeah, that's my number 4.
I'm definitely going so you can buy me something. Alright. So we are gonna do number 5 and then I wanna do that in a second. We're gonna do number 5 and we'll be done. Alright? And then I want you guys to post your stuff below too as well. And it doesn't matter what it's like, it's no matter, it's selfish, family, whatever. I want to see it below. It's gonna be fun to read each other's comments, and so it's gonna be a good time. Alright, we'll see you on number 5.
Are we good?
Yep.
Alright fam, so my number 5 is I know I'm successful when I wake up, look outside my window, and all I can see is crystal clear water. Right, there's something about, I don't know what it is, like looking at the ocean and just making you feel great. I mean, that's one thing I've wanted since I was little, when I wake up and just have this amazing view. And for me, it's to look out my window and just see the ocean, nothing else, just the ocean. So for me, that's number 5.
That's why you want to stay in Thailand.
Thailand, that's why I love paradise.
No matter where you go with that ocean. I love it. Who, Dre?
Okay. This was going to be a selfish one. And a fun one. I know I'm successful when I'm completely debt-free and I have to give a good majority of my money away to charitable organizations just so the IRS doesn't take it. And I will be glad to give it to them. Smile on my face. I don't even want a production. They could just have it under the table.
Give that charity away.
Give that charity away.
That's what I'm talking about. That's powerful. Okay, so my number 5 is I know I'm successful when the children's children of the people who come into my company want to join my company and community online because they see the impact our company has made on their grandparents. So 2 generations down. So that's where it's going to really come down to building back that organization and really kind of building that solid foundation of that company. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to be like pretty close to my deathbed by then, but it's going to be powerful to see. I'm just visualizing the children just going, grandparents, this is amazing. I can't believe the impact that made, things, stuff like that. So that's my number 5. All right, Jaden?
Boom. All right, well, I put down something else, but kind of changed it now. So I know I'm successful when I don't just create a lot of money in my life, but I create a lot of wealth and a lot of assets that will go on to kind of affect like my children's children and just kind of be very long-term and sustainable. That's
I love
number
that.
5.
Boom, baby. All right. Do we go around? We're good? Okay. So, there it is, fam. We have, by the time you see this video, we have these journals ready to rock and roll for you guys. What do you guys think about the journals, actually? So what do you think?
Just holding them is just an unbelievable feeling. I mean, I've gone to Staples before. I've held $30, $40 journals, but these journals just don't compare to them. They're absolutely amazing. You guys have to hold one to actually just experience what it's like.
You got a feeling. Poudre, what do you think?
I think it's great. I mean, it makes you start thinking. I remember when my grandmother passed away and great-grandmother, we wish we would have journaled some of them, because now, it's just like going back generations to see how they lived and what they were like and why you are today. So, I mean, what a great tool to start that. And as well as thinking about successes. You have it on paper, so you can always reflect back on it.
That's powerful. All right, let me get you real quick, Fraser. What do you think about these?
Guys, for me, this just makes me feel like a million. Just having this journal just makes me feel like I'm a part of something. I mean, just holding it right now, I just know Ireland's going to be here forever. I love it. It's just so real. It's just, get excited and pumped right now. Yeah.
Freedom! All right, fam. So, below this video, or wherever this video may be, there'll be a link where you can get this. Now, you have to be the Total Lifestyle Alliance to get the silver one, and that's going to be $150 for the silver one. And the black one, I don't think we brought a black one over here to my parents' house. We're actually at my parents' house right now, if you didn't know, which is cool. And we all had dinner, but you'll be able to see the black one. We'll put a picture or something like that, or maybe we'll throw it on the video where you can see it. But the black ones are $75. And you also earn some commissions off it as well. But at the end of the day, it's really about the power of holding this and leaving your legacy for your children to come, which is going to be powerful. And that's the kind of super powerful thing as well, where you can come back in here, not only reflect for, people down the road, but come in here and realize that your dream was, right here. You can't, at the end of the day, we kind of always think that we need people to lift us and motivate us and things like that, when you have that bigger vision, you don't really need them. But at the end of the day, for those of you guys who kind of are just starting, but then you write down these dreams, you can reflect on it, and literally you can almost slap your own self in the face if you kind of slow down, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, because, at the end of the day, I always think, there'll be days where I want to relax and want to chill, but I need to get like 4 or 5 things accomplished of that day. And I think, what if I don't do that? Like, how much did I just waste of the day? Or if I put it in here, I can look at it and literally it's like, look, I promised myself I was going to do that. And that's what these I Know I'm Successful Win does for you. Is you're literally promising yourself, and you know that your children's children are going to see this stuff. And if they don't see you accomplish this kind of stuff, it kind of puts it's not a bad pressure, but it's really a good uplifting pressure where you really go after your dreams and your vision for that. So you really want to, capture those. So we're excited. We're pumped. Get your hands on one of these. These are going to be all over the world. Literally, we have people in Asia, Japan, Russia, China, Thailand, everywhere. And so it's going to be fun to have these around. There's good for team leadership as well. And you can do this within your organization on live webinars and things like that. So it's going to be a super powerful thing. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. Get your hands on one of these, and we'll see you on the next one.